Greetings, welcome back. So, some news of the day before hockey's going to start in about an hour's time when we get the first game of the day, which is Tampa Bay and Columbus. So, I might be wearing a Columbus jersey again later if they win that game, and I'm doing the review for that game, of course, separate from the other four that are on today. So, yeah, it's going to be a kind of a quiet hockey day in terms of what's going on the ice, but thankfully the stuff off the ice is keeping us busy. So Jack Roslovic signed a 2-year contract before he gets traded to Columbus. And he wanted to go to Columbus. He's from that area. So that's good news for Columbus fans. You've got somebody there who wants to stay. So 2 years. Now, because he signs his contract after the start of the season, the cap hits work out kind of different. So the cap hit for this year is $2.03 million. The cap hit for next year is $1.83 million because of when he signs him. The actual value, $1.5 million for this year, $2.3 million for next year. So it's $1.9 million a year, but the cap hits become weird because he signed after the season had started. Think of it like the same thing that happened with Nylander with Toronto, right? So yeah, he's there, and that's going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm a big fan of Jack Roslovic. We'll see how things go for him with Columbus. And now the video where I was talking about Winnipeg and who might be the second line center, and the fact that I omitted Roslovic, now I can say that I knew. I knew all along he wasn't staying in Winnipeg. So there you go. Bemstrom's gone to the taxi squad for Columbus. Gerby's been called up for today. And Yarmo wants people to understand too. He knows Patrick Laine. He knows Laine from before he was in the National Hockey League. So that familiarity should help. The Laine's a restricted free agent this coming summer. So get ready for more Laine news in between now and then. And we'll see how it goes. And Laine and Dubois are both saying all the right things, which you would expect. And Dubois, I know this is at the bottom of the board, but I'm going to hop around a bit. Dubois' father, Eric, is the defensive coach, so an assistant coach for the Manitoba Moose. So that's the familiarity that Dubois would have with the Jets organization. He's in the same organization now as his father. So it is possible that while we make all the jokes now, Laine might be perfectly happy with Columbus, and Dubois might be perfectly happy with the Winnipeg Jets. There you go. Interesting news from last night. Rasmus Dahlin only played 10 minutes and 13 seconds in that game for Buffalo against Washington last night. Benched most of the second half of the game against the Caps. So it's interesting in that this is supposed to be the year that Dahlin's taking that next step. And so him being benched for second half of a game is noteworthy. We'll see tomorrow how much he plays. I would think he still gets a lot of shifts and a lot of minutes tomorrow because he's Rasmus Dahlin and he's kind of their future on the blue line. So they need him to be able to take that next step. Jamie Benn was hurt last night for Dallas, did exit that game. There hasn't been an update that I've seen yet today. I would think that we may get an update later on what his status is. But again, I wanted to make sure I had a news video done before hockey starts today. And yeah, so we'll see whether or not there's an update on that. With them already short on Sagan and Bishop, losing Ben would be huge. And that's a lot of cap space too, that's being eaten up by injured reserve. So yeah, we'll see whether or not Ben's going to be good to go for their next game. Corey Perry has been recalled by Montreal. So that's why I'm wearing a Habs jersey. It's because Armia's out indefinitely. How is this going to affect Montreal? Well, now they get to recall Corey Perry, who rediscovered his game in the playoffs for Dallas. And we'll see if that translates to goals for Montreal. And Corey Perry is no stranger to the Vancouver Canucks either. So if he's in the lineup today, we'll see how things go. The interesting thing with tonight's games is that the game in Vancouver is at 4 o'clock. The game in Winnipeg is at 7 o'clock. So I understand there's no fans in attendance, but I still think that's kind of an interesting choice by Hockey Night in Canada and by the National Hockey League to take the game that features Ottawa and Winnipeg and have it the late game, and the game featuring Montreal and Vancouver the early game. So there's some interesting scheduling going on. I know they want to balance everything out so that you're in different time zones, but you're going to play at different times so that nobody really has an advantage through that, but still, we'll see what happens. For Boston, Matt Grzelcyk's out of the lineup tonight, so Connor Clifton is going to make his season debut for the Boston Bruins. And yeah, Grzelcyk, it's been a good start. Again, I do wonder about the offense from that blue line and where that's going to come from. And I don't think that'll change with Clifton going into the lineup instead of Grzelcyk. But there's decent depth on the blue line. I just do question where some of the offense is going to end up coming from. So yes, when Keith Yandle is rumored to be on the trade block, although I don't know that that's still the case for Florida, I would imagine Boston would be one of the teams at least making a phone call to see how available he is. And yeah, so there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And it's nice that we've got a big trade, and we'll see if that opens the floodgates and if we see some other trades. Because again, the trade deadline might not be very busy this year due to the quarantining and the general situation that the league finds itself in. And yeah, so there you go. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And hey, thanks for all your support. I'll talk to you again soon.